Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about why the GOP caving on an ACA vote wasn't enough. So, there was a development that isn't getting nearly as much press as it should. But for those who saw it, it's important to understand that it doesn't move the needle. And it's important to understand why it doesn't move the needle on the shutdown. Here's the question. Quote, "I don't get it. Thune caved. He said he'd give Democrats the vote on the ACA credits. Why is the government still shut down?" Republican Senate Majority Leader Thune offered Democrats a vote on extending the ACA tax credits if they vote to reopen the government. He said, quote, "If you need a vote, we can guarantee you get a vote." So, what Thune is offering is a vote in the Senate, meaning he'll put the legislation up for a vote. Not that Republicans will actually vote to help working-class Americans with their health care costs. In exchange for that, he wants Democrats to vote in favor of the Republican package that reopens the government without the tax credit extensions. Realistically, if Thune brought the extensions up for a vote in the Senate, they would probably pass. And there was a time when a handshake deal like this would have actually led to movement on Capitol Hill. But then, Trump started his rescission nonsense. Once you go back on a funding deal, and in the case of the rescissions, that wasn't a handshake deal for a vote. That was congressionally approved funding. Your deals don't mean anything. The Democratic Party has zero reason to believe that Republicans will honor their promise to even hold the vote. This is especially true when Speaker Johnson is over on the other side of Capitol Hill, trying desperately to avoid a vote, because he knows once Republicans vote to extend the ACA credits, they'll be clearly demonstrating that they shut down the government and caused tens of millions of Americans stress and economic turmoil for literally no reason, other than not wanting to admit the one big beautiful bill was an abject failure for the working class. The promise of a vote in the Senate that may or may not happen, and no promise of a vote in the House, isn't good enough for Democrats to risk jeopardizing the health care of tens of millions of Americans by trusting the Republican Party. And frankly, with how bad the Democratic Party is historically with playing hardball, I give them credit for not trying to kick Lucy's football again. Republicans in the House are in fact trying to find some issue to rally around as their objection to the ACA credits. So, that's forward movement. The problem for Republicans is that there aren't many parts of the ACA credit extensions they can spin into being worth shutting down the government over. Thune's offer is a good sign, but it isn't a win. It should have been reported on more widely, so Americans can see that Republicans are blocking the votes. But it's important to keep it in perspective. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.